Hey guys, hold on. So I'm sorry I didn't release a video last week for anyone who noticed, but I ran out of internet basically, because in Australia we have fantastic internet caps, and well, basically that's what they are. You know, you have a certain amount of gigabytes, and then you just run out. You're done for the month. So that's why I haven't uploaded a video last week because I peaked basically, which. Interesting. Anyway, what I want to talk about today is I went and saw last week I went and saw Tim Burton live. So for those who don't know, Tim Burton's the director of Alice in Wonderland, Sweeney Todd, Edward Scissorhands. Excuse me. And I went to go see him live because he's doing an exhibition and a number of shows here in Melbourne. And I haven't actually been to the exhibition yet, which I might do that next week, and it might be in a video. I'm not sure what's going on yet. But yeah, so I went to go see him live, and he's actually he's a director that I kind of look up to because he does interesting things, and he does it his own way. And this show, well, it was called I couldn't get into the show I wanted, which was called the Film Masterclass, so I ended up getting into this other show called Desert Island Flicks, which for those who might know the old radio cliche Desert Island discs. But it was kind of like that, and he was just going over the sort of the movies that he watched when he was not necessarily growing up, but when he was getting into the industry, basically, and what he looked up to. Looked up to is a bad word, but what he found interesting, basically. And they're all very terrible movies, but he said that they were terrible movies, but terrible movies and bad movies, they have there's a charm about them that makes them interesting to watch because there's nothing else like them. He enjoys the poor dialogue or poor translation dubbing on Japanese movies, which he showed the War of the Gigantians. I think that's how you say it, or Gigantians. Sorry, but yeah, I went and saw that, and it was really interesting listening to that sort of thing because I'd always just considered bad movies as bad movies, but but it's interesting because I've recently sort of tried to get into a bit of anime. I've never been an anime fan. Still not really, but there's something about it that interests me, and that's what I kind of think it is the poorly done dialogue and all of that. It has its own sort of charm about it. That there's a story there, and it could be an interesting one, but it's done with poor dialogue, and I can't watch anime with the real voices and the subtitles. It just takes away the imagery for me. Sorry, my voice keeps breaking. I've got a cold, sorry. And so that was, I just never thought of it that way. It was just really insightful, and for the rest of the show, he's really down to earth, which I guess is, well, he's a big Hollywood person. Why would he be down to earth? What do you mean by that? He was just he was just really natural for the host, who I can't remember his name, but he's a god awful New Zealand comedian who lives in Australia mainly. Not just a New Zealand comedian, he's just a very bad one. Tim something. Anyway, point is that he was just really natural this entire interview, even though the interview really sucked. And it was sort of like a panel because there was questions at the end of it, and people sort of asked him about various things. And he was very, it's hard to describe. I mean, you see all these directors like Spielberg and especially George Lucas, who they're all up on this pedestal, which Hollywood gives them, and they sit on that pedestal for them. And Tim Burton also he touched on Hollywood trying to mold what he was doing, and he talked about how he lived in Hollywood for a while, and then he had to move out because people wanted him to do all this stuff, and he just they were just trying to mold him into the director for that everyone wanted to be. But obviously, Tim Burton, is a very love-hate director. You either really love his work or you hate his work if it's crap. But, I think that's a tribute to he's doing what he wants to do, and doing things his way. Because there's a lot of things, like I would consider, George Lucas is like a shadow of a director that he used to be. He's pretty crap now. But no, it was really interesting to listen to him. He's actually quite a funny guy. And I'm not sure how if this exhibition is traveling or not. I do know that most of the exhibition was put together by the New York Museum, I think. I could be very wrong. But for those who aren't here, if you're interested, you can read up about it in numerous newspaper articles. I tried to show you one just to put up a picture on it, but I've got a feeling that the lighting completely failed. But there's various articles, with some of his pictures in it, and so you can find a lot of stuff if you want. And hopefully I'll be able to go to the exhibition soon. Not quite sure, but yeah, that's pretty much it, really. And oh, and I had people need to stop PMing me, telling me what they think. I just put it in the comments section. I don't know why people do this. But I did get a thing saying, this was all, your original videos are very much about you and how you're not happy with yourself, and this one's all, the other one was all, like, inspiration, do something, and they said that that's not a, I can't remember what it was, cohesive, the point was, it wasn't a continuous style, something like that, but it wasn't continuous. He said that you need to either stay pessimistic or be really up and vibrant, and I don't like the word inspirational, but sort of that trying to be inspirational, and I don't know, he or she, not sure. And basically, these vlogs are just whatever the fuck I'm feeling like at the time, what I want to talk about. Today I want to talk about Tim Burton and the awesome experience that I had. And, other times I want to complain and be like, wow, my life at the moment isn't where I want it to be. Not that my life sucks, because it doesn't. I think your life sucks if you can't afford to feed yourself or anything like that, or something's gone terribly wrong, which nothing like that has happened to me. I just wasn't 100%, no, I just wasn't even 90% happy a month or two ago with how things were going. I'm much happier now. So vlogs should be reflecting how I'm feeling, and I'm feeling much happier now. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm rambling on now. Thanks for watching, and see you later, guys.